Good morning. Thank you for watching another beautiful Lord's Day. Got past a little bit of rain, but it looks like it's clearing off maybe a little bit. Uh, we got our sick list this morning. We got Ashlyn Hare, John Hare, Judy Powell, Joella King, Doyle Duke, Melissa Bogle, Steve Comer, Naomi Blair, Lee Heath, Chuck Fisher, Lawana Peeler, Benny Blair, Steve Milburn, uh, Taylor Blanton, Sharon Armstrong, Jason Morris, Pam Brown, and Thomas Bogle. And we need to send sympathy to the family of Terry Parham and Case Einhart. So Terry Parham, uh, he's been one of our church members for a long time. He's very he's a very fine fellow. So please keep his family in your prayers. Case Einhart, understand that he's a young man in his 20s, had a motorcycle accident, and he has now passed away. And what a loss. Please keep that family in your prayers too. A lot of sad stuff there this morning. We got a little lesson here, and we're going to start out with a Bible verse. It's Ephesians 4:14 through 16. We will hold to the truth in love, becoming more and more in every way like Christ, who is the head of this body, the church. Uh, and we should try to be more and more like Christ every day of our life. We should uh, really look at the way that Christ was, and you get that from reading your Bible. We need to study how he did, and so we can become more like him in our everyday lives. And that's what this lesson is. Uh, it says, suppose you spotted a friend asleep in the middle of the street, and a car was approaching. What would you do? No question, right? You would run to the middle of the road and shake your friend awake, even if you had to slap him or splash something in his face. You would point to an oncoming car. You would grab him by the hand and run for safety. That one was easy, but sometimes we see our friends making poor choices that in the long run can be just as destructive as waking up in the middle of the road to meet an oncoming car face first. Maybe you have friends with the habit of stealing or lying or disobeying their parents, or perhaps you know someone interested in smoking or even doing drugs. You know what should say and what you want to say, but it's a little harder to spit those words out, isn't it? Once again, since Jesus was the perfect example of love, let's look at how he loved people through tough situations. The Bible tells us about a time when religious leaders dragged to Jesus a woman who had been caught sinning. Jesus didn't trash the woman for her sin, but neither did he ignore her wrongdoing. He kindly told her to go and sin no more. That's in John 8, verse 11. Another time, Jesus met a Samaritan woman, a foreigner most Jewish people wouldn't have talked to, but she was living in a sinful lifestyle. Once again, Jesus didn't put her down, but neither did he let her sin slide by. He lovingly helped her to see that he was the only one who could truly meet her needs. And that's in John 4 through 26. Jesus even confronted Peter, one of his best friends in the world, when Peter stood in the way of God's purposes, and that's in Matthew 16:21 through 23. And again, Jesus didn't attack Peter, but he didn't ignore his mistake. Jesus spoke the truth to those people because he loved them. He knew they weren't living in a way that was pleasing to God. He wanted them to experience God's best in life. He showed how truth and love can go hand in hand. True love is honest because God seeks the best in the lives of the people we love. It's hard to see our friends making poor choices that keep them from God's best, eventually bringing them to great harm. But Jesus has given us the perfect picture of how to help them. Follow his example. Be honest with your friends. It's the most loving thing you can do. So why is it sometimes it's hard to tell your friends the truth when they're making harmful choices? We need to think about this. And would you rather see your friend do a bad thing, or would you rather tell him, hey, you might want to rethink that? Right now, I've got a friend that's dealing with a smoking addiction. I've been talking to him about this for a while, and he's struggling. And if you don't mind, please say a prayer for him this morning, and that way maybe that God will look at him and help him get through this and get away from that. He's realized that smoking is a bad thing, and he knows it, and but this smoking, it's kind of hard to get rid of sometimes. It's hard for people to break off from it. But please pray for him, and that way maybe he can get away from that. We need to pray to God to give us strength and the wisdom to speak the truth in love. We need to tell folks when we see something that's going on or something bad. We need to be able to help them with that, and God will give us the strength to do that. Do you have a friend who is getting into harmful behavior? Talk with a mature Christian about ways you can lovingly speak the truth to your friend. So look to people that's probably had this situation before, and see if you can figure out a way to help them and not make them mad. There's a difference there in helping somebody. You can't just beat them up. You got to be careful about how you talk to them, and you're supposed to do it in love. But think about it. Like this says, you wouldn't let your friend lay out there in the road and get run over, but yet you might watch your friend start doing drugs or something like that, something bad that they don't need to get involved with. You need to be stepping up there and helping them. And it even goes so far as to say, if you don't tell your friends about Jesus, if you've got friends that are not Christians, maybe you need to step up and start talking about Jesus a little bit, and that way maybe your friends will eventually come around and learn about Jesus and become a Christian. Saving someone's life from eternal damnation. Man, that's a great thing. That's what we're supposed to do. God gave us that commandment. We're supposed to go into all the world and preach the gospel. And we're supposed to make Christians out of these people, and we need to tell them about Jesus. Thank you for watching. Please keep all of our folks in your prayers, especially those that have lost loved ones this morning. Please keep our servicemen and women in your prayers, our first responders and the doctors and nurses and the folks that keep us safe and healthy. Thank you for watching. God bless. See you next time.